So, racism against Coach Mike Tomlin? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for watching. If you're unfamiliar with Coach Mike Tomlin, he's the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I would say that the Pittsburgh Steelers has been like one of the most prestigious franchises in the NFL. The only other franchise who can come closer is perhaps maybe is the Cowboys. No, there's no other franchise come close to the history of the Steelers. But Mike Tomlin became the head coach of the Steelers in 2007 after Bill Cowher stepped down, and he's had a very successful career. At least I would say he's had a successful career. I mean, he's won the Super Bowl, and in those 14 years, he hasn't had a single losing season. I mean, I would say that was very successful. But now we know that, well, Ed Orgeron was fired as the coach at LSU. And I think it was the right decision. I thank Ed Orgeron for, we won a championship in 2019 with Joe Burrow. And the only reason why we won that championship because he made the decision to bring in Joe Brady as the offense, help with the passing offense. And he installed the passing offense that was the number one offense in college history. Of course, only to be eclipsed the following year by Alabama, but then that was a COVID year, so you really have to put an asterisk on that. With a year when so many players just basically didn't play because of COVID. They just basically took the season off. So, like I said, you have to put an asterisk on that season. Not discredited what Alabama did, but like I said, you have to take into consideration the COVID situation. But we hired Brian Kelly, and I thought it was a great move. And look, if he was able to do what he did at Notre Dame, then I would love to see what he can do at LSU with the level of talent that we get, who are always in the top 10. But somehow Mike Tomlin got linked to the LSU job, and also he got linked to the USC position because they fired their head coach as well. Now, how did this happen? Ryan Clark, who's the ESPN analyst, and he's also played. He went to LSU. LSU is alma mater, and he played in Pittsburgh for Mike Tomlin. So I can see why he would hold Mike Tomlin in such reverence. But he was the first to get on ESPN and say he would like to see Mike Tomlin as the head coach of LSU. And then from there, it just took on the life of its own. As the old saying, the lie gets halfway around the world before the truth gets out of bed. And it just took off so much that Mike Tomlin had to come out and do a press conference. And this was that press conference, never say never, but never. Now, he basically mentioned a list of coaches that they said would never happen to. And Sean Payton was one of those coaches, or basically implying white coaches. And he tried to make a race argument. He tried to cry racism. And I didn't like that at all, because I don't like when black people cry racism. I mean, here you are, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You moved up within the ranks, so there was no hiring process. Usually when the head coach is fired of an NFL team, they usually hire from without. They hire from without, and they're bringing a new head coach, and then he tears everything down and brings in his staff. But they hired him within the ranks, so obviously they saw something there. If it was racism, why would we hire him as the head coach in the first place? So I really didn't like him bringing up that race, and I don't like black people bringing up race and everything. It wasn't racism. I mean, how is this racism? Anything, I would say this more reverence. I mean, think about it. Somebody think that you're such a great coach that they want you to go coach at their alma mater because they want their alma mater to win. How is that racism? To me, that's saying that they think that you're a great coach, right? And this was this was basically all throughout the media, him going to LSU, and I heard so many people say, "Well, LSU would be a dog, and or a good team." So again, if they're saying that he's a great coach, How is that racism? I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense. And this is, again, a perfect example of how quickly the race card can be pulled out and how quickly people can pile on and then the race card can take a life of its own. Because, you have the race hustlers out there. Of course, as I say, for race hustlers, they never let a situation go to race in which they can cry race. But there is no racism here. There's nothing racist about it. There was nothing disrespectful. If anything, I would say this is more of respecting him as a great coach. The fact that somebody will want to link him with their whatever school, their team, because they want their team to be better. If I say I want to bring somebody into my organization because I believe that they can make my organization better, that's respect for them. That's honoring them. I'm not attacking him. I'm not disrespecting him. So there's no disrespect here. This is like no disrespect. I don't understand it. Like, black folk, we gotta stop with the nonsense. We gotta stop with the victimhood. Again, only black people, only the leftists can take a situation in which they're being respected and say that they're disrespected. Again, ridiculous. Everybody have their own say on this, own take on this, but there was no racism here, in my view. Anyway, y'all, as always, until next time.